What's up, a Cinema Shogun here, and how many of you all have been paying attention to the Quinton Simon case since day one? Let me know down in the comments below, because for the last couple of days, I keep reiterating myself when I say that I sense this energy shift. I could sense the energy shift within Quinton Simon's family because they went from acting one way to acting a completely different way almost overnight. But if you've been paying attention since day one, then you probably understand what I'm saying, because in the beginning, and I mean on day one when Quinton Simon went missing, Billie Joe seemed to have a whole different energy. Billie Joe was out here basically saying that she didn't trust her daughter. And now it seems like they are more of a united front. You know what I mean? Like, in the beginning, they were totally separated. We knew that Leilani was getting kicked out the house. Billie Joe was on the news saying, "I don't believe my daughter. She's capable of anything." They showed up to court separately. They weren't talking in court. But now all of a sudden, we know they're out partying. We know they've been in the backyard partying for weeks. And they were together on Leilani's first interview. Now, why does this stick out to me? It sticks out to me because obviously there's been a complete change in the way Billie Joe has been acting and a complete change in the way Leilani has been acting. Now, early on in the first couple of days, I believe this may even be the first day that Quinton Simon went missing, Billie Joe and her husband, they did a couple of interviews on the news. But there was one snippet of the interview that was left out. And I believe a reporter by the name of Brett Buffington, do I have that right? I think he's the one that got this clip. And let me just say, shout out to Brett, because he's the only reporter down there in Savannah that seems to be really doing a good job. Like, he's doing investigative journalism. So shout out to him, because it doesn't seem like anyone else down in Savannah, at least as far as official media goes, are really doing their job on the level that he is. Now, this clip that I'm about to show you all, you haven't seen it yet. Maybe you saw it somewhere floating on social media, but it was not aired on the news. And I think that it's very interesting. I think it's very telling, especially for people who maybe haven't been here since day one. I think it's important that you see this clip. But before we watch it, make sure you are subscribed, ring that notification bell so you can be notified of all of the real updates in this case. Drop a like down below because it helps the video in the algorithm, and drop a comment down below as well and let me know what you think happened to Quinton. But without further ado, let's go ahead and roll that beautiful bean footage.
I feel like whatever, Leilani's story doesn't add up. Well, I've been talking with the baby's father, with Quinton's father. I've been talking with him all day yesterday, and he's already been questioned, and they've already went to his job and went to his home, and Quinton's not there, which is, I didn't think he would be anyway. Why Leilani would even come up with a story like that, I don't even know.
That's your daughter?
Yes.
That's his mom?
Yes.
Have you
All right, man. Whew. I gotta be nice. I am trying to be nice. I am trying to be a better person. If you have been a long-time subscriber of my channel, you know I like to add humor and jokes and all type of stuff in my videos. And for the most part, I've been pretty serious while covering the Quinton Simon case. But watching this clip, I had to hold my jaw like, wait. I had to make sure my jaw was in place. Because damn, man, it looks like Billie Joe is really on one. Her jaw is all like, yeah. And maybe that's just the way she talks. Maybe that's just the way Billie Joe is. And if that's the case, forgive me, please. But it looks like she's on something, right? I mean, I'm no expert. But when you see people with that jaw movement, you know, that's usually a sign that they might be on some hardcore stuff. Okay? That's oh, man, I can't get that freaking visual out of my head of her jaw just, you know, she's just grinding her teeth together for, whoa, man. All right. Okay, so we're not going to make fun of Billie Joe's jaw anymore. What we're going to do is we're going to stick to why I made this video. And the reason why I made this video was to point out how in the beginning, Billie Joe was calling Leilani out, basically saying she doesn't believe Leilani and all of this. And now here we are weeks later and the tune has changed. You know, now she's sticking closer to Leilani, and I don't fault her for that because that's her daughter. That's flesh and blood. You should stick next to family. But why now? Why were you so willy-nilly about basically saying, yeah, my daughter probably did this a couple of weeks ago, but now the story is different, and now your actions are different? And like I've been saying, I think this family has gained some type of confidence. The fact that Quinton Simon hasn't been found yet has made them start approaching this situation in a different manner. I believe that Leilani was dead silent at first, and Billie Joe was throwing things out there about Leilani possibly doing it because they thought that Leilani would have already been caught and behind bars by now. But because Leilani's still out here walking a free woman, they're starting to get hope, and they're starting to think, oh, maybe Leilani isn't going to get caught after all. Maybe Leilani isn't going to spend life in jail. Maybe Leilani will get away with this. So let's go ahead and change the narrative. And Billie Joe, I'm going to go ahead and change how I'm acting. And even though I was out here basically casting doubt on my own daughter on the same day her son went missing, now I'll cast doubt on everyone else while I defend my daughter, because guess what? My daughter hasn't been arrested yet. And they're thinking in their little pea brains that she's going to walk away scot-free from this situation. That's why the energy is changing. Leilani was quiet at first, and Billie Joe was saying more at first about her daughter because they figured and they thought and they were banking on Leilani already being arrested. Leilani thought she would already be in jail. Billie Joe thought that Leilani would already be in jail. But Leilani has avoided that so far, so now they're coming with their different game plan. But it's important to remember the initial reactions from Billie Joe. I think that's very important. You know, like they say, the first impression. It's really important, right? Like when you first meet someone, the first ideas and thoughts they get about you, the first impression, it's important. Well, the first impression and the first experience I had with Billie Joe was Billie Joe on interviews basically saying, I don't believe my daughter and she does stupid stuff all the time. And now it's just a big shift. But I'm really glad that this clip resurfaced. Thank you, Brett, for putting this out there, because the Quinton Simon case, it's really interesting because a lot of people weren't here day one. I don't want to take responsibility for blowing this case up, but when I made my first video on the Quinton Simon case, there was two other videos on YouTube about Quinton Simon. And they were both posted by, I can't remember the YouTube name. I think it's Darkness Exposed or something. I haven't really watched their content. And that's a smaller channel. Me, along with that person, we were the only two people talking about Quinton Simon on YouTube. Now, of course, once other people realize, oh, this channel is getting views from talking about Quinton, that's when other people started coming in. But being on this situation day one, I've seen how every day new people are being attracted to the story. You know what I mean? So, whereas with other cases I've covered, sometimes it seems like everyone hops on it at the same time. National coverage, national attention, starts focusing on a certain case. But with the Quinton Simon case, it's weird because I was talking about it for a little while before anyone really was. And every day I'm noticing more and more people starting to take interest in the case, and that's a great thing. But when people are coming in late, A lot of them, they've missed out on certain things. So I don't think a lot of people realize the type of things Billie Joe was out here saying about her own daughter before this energy shifted. So I'm glad this clip was posted. Here's a reminder to any and everyone, whether you've been following this case from day one or you started following this case today. Literally, Billie Joe was out here shading her own daughter and saying she doesn't trust her, doesn't believe her, on day one. And now she's acting totally differently. But let me know, why do you think this energy has shifted? Where did the change come from? Why did Billie Joe act one way when Quinton went missing, and here we are 3 weeks later and she's acting differently? Let me know all of your thoughts down in the comments below. While you're down there, hit that thumbs up button, hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell, and I'll talk to you all in the next video.